Hi, I'm Felix. I'm here with Sarah from Paramount Stables, and today we're going to show you how we use our award-winning horse show colour. Disclaimer: this video demonstrates how our colour can change a light tone to a dark tone. The purpose of this video is to show how the colour works. Why use horse show colour? Perfect for sensitive horses and ponies, horse show colour is an ammonia-free dye which enhances dull coats into healthy, winning, natural shiny coloured tone coats. Let's introduce the horse show colour kits. Inside the colour kit you'll find 10 tubes of dye, a peroxide to match the number of tubes, horse show colour soap, oil in one, and all other items required to achieve your desired colour. For optimal results we recommend the following. Clip your horse at least 24 to 48 hours before dyeing. This allows the skin and coat to recover prior to application. Wash out any clip oil, hot oil treatments and shine serums from the coat before application, as oily and silicone residues will affect the dye coverage. Also, ensure the horse is cool and not sweaty. Take your horse rugs off 15 minutes before colouring. If possible, grab a friend to help. 2 pairs of hands will save you time. Before colouring, it's essential to perform a patch test 24 to 48 hours prior to colouring on a clean horse coat. Beware, colour will stain, so wear gloves and be careful to avoid contact with clothing. To conduct a patch test, simply place the colour on the horse in a sensitive area and wait 15 minutes to check for a reaction. If any signs of skin irritation occur, please do not continue. Also, be aware we cannot guarantee results if your horse or pony is under medication or if the coat has a silicone coating from products. Additionally, protect white areas on your horse such as blazers or socks with horse show colour protein treatment or conditioner during colouring. Mixing. Sarah has unpacked everything she needs from the horse show colour kit, including the recommended 10 tubes of colour required to achieve the desired dark tone. Each tube is 100 grams. It's important that you squeeze as much content out as possible to maximise the coverage on your horse. The lighter your horse coat, the more you'll require in order to achieve a darker tone. Please contact us if you have any queries about the amount of colour you need, but as a rule of thumb, 10 tubes should be adequate to do a 17-hand horse. Next, Sarah will place the content of 10 volume peroxide into the bucket. For the purpose of safety, the peroxide has a tamper-proof lid. Once you remove the lid, pour the 10 vol into the bucket. Generally the 10 vol is measured to the number of tubes, for example 1 litre equals 10 tubes. Place the oil inside, 5 to 10 ml per application is sufficient. Then using a clean paintbrush, mix the oil in one, the peroxide and the colour until you come to a smooth consistency, and that's all you need to do. Application. Follow the dots starting from 1 through to 10. We suggest starting with the back through to the neck down to the points. This ensures the colour evenly penetrates the densest areas of your horse's coat all the way down through to the finer points which need less colour to develop results. Body application. Sarah is using the paintbrush to apply colour to the horse's back. She started here because this area needs the longest time to process. The time between starting at this point and returning will be about an hour. As mentioned before, if you have somebody to help, it will be quicker and easier to apply the colour. More importantly, you have 2 pairs of eyes on the job. Check each other's work to make sure the colour has been applied evenly. To avoid any streaks left by the paintbrush, use your hands or a sponge to work the colour into the coat evenly. It's important to try and use as much colour as possible while leaving a little bit in reserve. This is just in case you need to go over any points or fix any streaking you may notice later on. Mane application. Firmly apply the colour onto the mane. It is very important to rub it in with your hands to penetrate the hair shaft. Bottom section application. As you continue to the bottom of your horse, you may notice these areas can be a little bit sensitive. If you've conducted a patch test, this sensitivity will not be a problem. Make sure that you get into all the crevices and finish off the work from the top. As you can see, the colour is starting to get a little bit darker the longer you leave it on. Just follow through, finishing up on all sections. Check your work is even to achieve a natural look. Tail application. Using the same method as the mane, Sarah is starting to apply the colour with a paintbrush onto the tail for even coverage. Then using her hands she massages the colour into the hair shaft with maximum results. Be patient and take the time to ensure that all colour is evenly applied from the top of the tail to the bottom. If necessary, use some extra colour to achieve full coverage. If you find a streak, you can go over the top and blend it in again with the existing colour using the reserve colour or O colour. Colour processing. Drying time should be about an hour, and note the colour will go darker. After application, the colour will appear like it is flaking. Don't worry, as this is only residual colour. Rinse off. Use warm water. Begin rinsing off where you started. Use your hands and gently scrub the coat to remove any extra colour. Continue all the way along the section of the horse, following the same technique. With some water, just rinse off any extra that you might find on the tail. Using O colour. O colour is a pre-mixed dye, so it can be used to cover streaking on its own. Simply apply firmly to a dry coat and leave on for 15-20 minutes, then rinse off. The longer you leave it on, the darker the tone outcome. After colouring, today we'll be using Horseshoe Colour Protein Treatment. Grab a nice handful and rub it into the tail just like you did with the colour. The objective here is to treat every hair shaft. When properly applied, the protein treatment will penetrate each hair shaft, rejuvenating and restoring its shine and natural strength. You can also use some cling wrap to envelop the tail, leave the treatment for 15-20 minutes and then rinse off. Please feel free to give us a call before, during or after your colour with any questions or queries. We'd love to help you.